9 shocking discoveries the inability of science to explain. Today, we have many talented scientists and experts dedicated to studying and understanding the most mysterious and complex things in the world. Yet there are still some strange and mysterious things on this earth that have no explanation so far. We offer you 9 amazing and shocking discoveries that science cannot explain until now. 1. Jacqueline Preassessment lived a normal life in England, but when her husband Ron died after a sharp fight, Jacqueline began to feel strange things happening to her. The light bulbs went off everywhere she went, and the electrical appliances it also explodes when you plug it into the electrical outlets, so that its electric cleaner burns only when it is touched. Jacqueline decided to seek help from doctors who discovered after extensive examination that her body was accumulating a large amount of static electricity and called her condition the first of its kind, high voltage syndrome, but they could not cure it because they did not know why it was accumulating, and is still suffering from this problem so far. The disappearance of Dr. Jim Gray, a famous American computer scientist, was one of the strangest cases of disappearance in history. After his mother died in 2007, Jim went on a short voyage on his luxury boat to the Farallon Islands to scatter her remains there, although his boat had automatic positioning technology in the event of loss of the ship or a problem, and it was sailing in the water always inhabited by ships, but disappeared with his boat without any trace. A massive search began only hours after his disappearance to try to find him. The satellite picked up thousands of pictures of the area, but they could not find anything out of the ordinary, and they never found it. 3. In July 1518, one woman began to dance in the middle of the street in a strange way, without any music. Within a week, 34 others joined. Within a month, there were about 400 people dancing together, mostly women. People stopped, as they seemed unable to do anything other than dance, so they stopped eating, sleeping and talking, which of course caused many of them to die of heart attacks, strokes, and exhaustion. At the height of this strange plague died about 20 people a day. The city tried to do a lot of things to stop them, but all attempts failed until the dancers were forced to a hilltop. Then the people of the city gathered to pray and pray for them, and they succeeded in stopping the dancing and returning these people to their normal state. What is strange about this incident is that science has no specific and certain explanation for it, as some believe it was a kind of collective hysteria. 4. This strange tile, with the symbols of mythical towers in British Columbia, was found in Canada. Although the painting was found close to the surface of the earth, it is not too old, but the symbols are hundreds, if not thousands, of years makes it even more mysterious. And some believe that this painting was deliberately buried by some of the people they wanted to hide. It appears from the circularly encircled symbols, the rings on the painting, that they were a kind of primitive solar clocks. But there is no scientific explanation for the exact fact of this painting, or how it ended up in this place, especially since the symbols on it are supposed to be Greek. But the painting was found in Canada. 5. A group of people discovered during the exploration of the island of Bimini, the Bahamas, a group of stones resembling the pier at the bottom of the ocean, later called the Bimini Road, and some believe that this road was a wall of a building that occurred in the sea, but very difficult. The origin of this road is due to water damage, where some believe that this pier is part of Atlantis' lost island, while others believe that it is a natural way. 6. In 1959, the bodies of 9 experienced climbers led by Igor Dyatlov were found on Mount Ataturn, who had begun a journey that had been taken earlier. Although the death of climbers is something that can happen naturally, the strangeness of this incident stems from the rescue squad found that their tent had been cut from inside so that they could escape, as if something had prevented them from getting out of the front tent slot, and their objects were all still in the tent. The rescuers then found some bodies of the climbers who they wore stockings, and only underwear, which showed that they had to escape by great godly. These climbers died as a result of the temperature of their bodies, while the rest of the climbers were found wearing their clothes, but died of fractures and serious injuries to the skull, chest and ribs, until one of them had snatched her tongue and eyes from their place. There is no logical explanation for this strange incident. 7. Sandmane is a Norwegian coin made in 1076. It is known that Christopher Columbus traveled to America in 1492 and was the first European to explore America. However, this currency was discovered in the state of Maine in the United States of America. This means that the cent came to America before Columbus about 400 years ago. and some believe that the currency was brought to the United States by the ancient Northerners or Viking, but proved by proof that these theories are wrong. Some believe that indigenous Indians may have been brought from the north through their travels, but this theory is also full of errors. This coin continues to taunt scientists and experts. There seems to be no correct or even logical explanation of how they came to America before humans reach it. 8. In 2011, a UFO was found in the Baltic Sea by a naval research team. The team said at the time that they had no idea what the discovery was, not the fact that it looked like a Star Wars spacecraft, but it is much larger and much older. The UFO is estimated to be about 1,400 years old, which means that it is almost impossible to determine its exact source. Another strange thing in this discovery is that there is about 300 meters of the effects behind the body. However, this was a very high-speed water crash, which led many people to believe that it was indeed a vehicle that came to the Earth a long time ago, but scientists who were looking at it exactly were still unable to determine his identity. 9. A few years ago, a group of researchers found an undiscovered village in Ecuador. According to their research, the village contains a very large amount of gold hidden in the largest building in the village. It is believed to have been either the museum or the famous home of the last Incas. The village is in a very remote location, accessible only by walking in the forest for 8 miles. Although the governor of the region is prepared to open the village to the public to bring in more tourists, it will not happen until the researchers have finished exploring the entire village, and this will certainly take a very long time. The researchers said the village is full of dangers, a place